Yo, what's up, guys? It's no surprise if you know me. I like my music hard, fast, and metal. So yeah, I'll get right to it. Growing up, early mid 2000s, two bands always kind of rotated my way, and whenever they came to Philly, I would check them out. And yes, I made sure they were always on my list. You know, in fact, they toured together, so that was pretty cool. If I could find that poster, um, I'll use that as the picture for this video. Uh, anyway, there's two albums that really stood out, and I think kind of illustrated my tastes. Kind of reinforced me, wanting to play metal music and being in a band and just going to concerts. And whenever I seen these two groups play live, it was friggin' magical. It was awesome. Uh, the crowd was nuts. The presence was all. I haven't been to a concert since. Um, God, I'm trying to think of my last show. I think it was probably 2019. So I don't know. I'm kind of out of touch with the live music scene right now, but I definitely want to make a return to that one day. Uh, all right. So anyway, first album, first band that put me onto this path. I could talk about all day about Pantera, Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth, Black Sabbath, yada yada yada. But anyone who knows anything about music, heavy music, knows those groups. You know, and then you have Lamb of God. That's right. I was fortunate enough, along with a lot of people, to be there when they played live at the Trocadero. And in between selling the tickets to that, they were like, "We're gonna film a live DVD called Philadelphia," and it was amazing. And I don't know if it was because the cameras were there too, but like, it's the energy was like pumped up to like 110. And they do this thing. I don't know if they do it anymore, but like at shows, they would kind of like Braveheart. They would split the audience in half, and then when the song would like climax, people would charge each other. So you weren't safe. I would like hang on to dear life at the gate, because it's short. Um, but yeah, Ashes of the Awake, which came out August 31st, 2004. It was a good album. And this is following Ashes, As the Palaces Burn, which also is it's a great album because you see Lamb of God picking the direction they're going into, and it's awesome. Randy's voice kind of changed for the greater good, I believe. When you listen to like the first album, official Lamb of God album, or Burn the Priest or whatever, it is a very harsh, kind of vocal, especially like in New American Gospel. But now, I mean, he's all over the place. There's some clean singing in that. He's got a very baritone kind of voice. It's cool. They're trying. That's how you survive, especially since metal now is like pushed back underground. You gotta do anything to stay afloat. So, it's cool. They went through like a little lineup change, nothing crazy, but I don't want to get too much into that. So anyway, this album, Ashes of the Awake, came out August 31st, 2004. I can't even tell you what I was doing that day, but I know I got this album at some point. I mean, you get all bangers, great songs. I could listen to the album without skipping, really. Laid to Rest, Hourglass, The Fatal Line, Omerta, Blood of the Scribe. Yeah, it's a hell of a track list, and it touches on. It's not a theme album or nothing, but you see a lot of hints of war and anti-war themes, and just kind of bringing that into the picture here, politics, all that stuff. That's what kind of Lamb of God was about. Fighting against the corruption and government and wars, and bringing that to light and all that stuff, and other stuff too. Like, it wasn't just on that. It's just the music alone carries any song, whatever the subject be about, and I was just happy to be in their presence a lot of the time. I met them in person. A lot of my friends did. Um, I know my one friend Angelo got pictures with them. Or the guitar player. I think I'm not sure, but yeah, those were good times. Early 2000s, and Lamb of God definitely, especially this album, Ashes of the Awake, is the reason why it'll be like cemented in metal gold pretty much, because it's just monumental, and they've gone on to do greater things, greater albums. In fact, they're releasing another album and another tour, I think, pretty soon. So yeah, if you're into metal or you're just starting out, listen to Lamb of God. What are you waiting for? The lineup for that album was Randy, who did the vocals, Mark, guitar, Willie, guitar, John was bass, and Chris, drums. I believe there's a new drummer now. I'm not sure who. I haven't really been following that much, but I still listen. Um, Regardless, they still deliver great music. So if you haven't heard of them, do yourself a favor, check them out. All right, next guys. Next one, I love it. I love it. I love. But when I started into metal music, it was a weird transition because it was like, uh, like industrial. I want to say so, like Nine Inch Nails. Um, I mean, Rob Zombie you could kind of class in there because his first album was very electronic in some aspects. uh, Marilyn Manson, stuff like that. I guess not too much industrial, but that's where my roots are. And then it splintered off into like death metal, like Cannibal Corpse and 6 Feet Under, and then people that would combine. It was a very weird era. Like, I grew up like the new metal phase, which combined a lot of elements of like electronic, industrial, rap, metal, and they made it work. You know. Um, but I'm talking about Fear Factory, which I like, and their albums, some of them are like theme stuff. It's like, so imagine if like Terminator was real, robots taking over machines taking over the world or whatever via the government. Um, that's what their songs were based upon, and one that came out in 1995. I got it in the 2000s. Obviously, I was nowhere near capable of understanding music, in the early '90s. I'm still a kid, but Fear Factory bring a hell of a presence. Their drummer is like a god on drums. Obviously they transition. The lineup changed here and there, not drastically, but they're always on point. They're very tight. Um, and like I said, they combine this electronic industrial with metal, and it's fierce. It's heavy. It tells a story. It's just awesome. Demanufacture is the album that actually, when I had a band, we did a cover replica, which was I mean, if you haven't heard that song, it's pretty damn awesome. But I mean, that album, you got Demanufacture, Self Bias Resistor, Zero Single, Replica, New Breed, Body Hammer, yada yada yada. Anyway, great album. I believe they were under Roadrunner Records too. So, it was very easy to find. And yeah, it was just, oh my God, their shows are insane. It's a non-stop assault of a wave of music that sounds really good. Like, you wouldn't, when you're thinking about, like, combinations of music, some things work, some things don't. And I think the best is industrial and metal because it's like this fusion of two works, opposite ends of the street coming together. And it's a great fusion. It works. They broke up recently. I mean, they would break up, they come back again in a different form, come back again, break up, and I think there's like one member left that's like in charge. Dino, he's the guitar player throughout Fear Factory's existence. He just recruited a new singer from Italy, which is kind of awesome. So I'm curious what they got in store for the future. But yeah, the lineup for Demanufacture was Burton, who did the vocals, excellent vocalist, by the way. He could sing and scream and do very harsh vocals. You know, they coexist in the same world. His voice, his octaves, his ranges are all over the place, and it's great. Dino, like I mentioned, amazing. He plays a monster of a guitar. I believe it's a 7 string or an 8 string, and it's like the neck is like this big, and he just kind of, yeah. Raymond Herrera, who was on drums. I mean, when you listen to Fear Factory's drums, just like Lamb of God, very on point, very tight. And it sounds like a machine gun, especially like the double bass shit. It's awesome. You have Christian, who's plays the bass. He switched to guitar when Dino got kicked out. Um, I think he's doing his own thing now. Like I said, Dino and Burton were kind of like the founders, or the longest members, I guess. This guy, Rise Fulber, I'm probably butchering his name, but he was like the synthesizer keyboardist. He works for like a lot of industrial synthwave kind of music, and it made sense for him to layer the music with synthesizers and keyboards. It just, like I said, it works. When you think about it, you're like, how could this make sense? And it does. Yeah, those two bands, Lamb of God, Fear Factory. I mean, it was a treat when they toured together. That was awesome. I know that happened because I'm remembering it right now. Like, it's coming back to me. I know for a fact they definitely toured together. Um, but they both bring a stage presence. I see them continuing on. Like I said, even though metal's kind of like pushed underground right now, I see it continuing with them. As long as people still allow concerts and live tours and music, then these two bands will definitely exist and continue to make awesome music. There you go, guys. Not quite a movie review, but I figure why not try a little something different here. I just want to kind of share that, and I didn't know how to introduce a video regarding music as a topic, and I think this was a good way of showing you guys um, what really kept me going all those years. But yeah. Let me know if you feel like commenting. Let me know. What was your guys' go-to band when it came to touring and stuff. Other than that, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. All right, peace.